Okay, so here we are across the road from Loch Lenny in possibly one of the most famous downhill locations in the world, Fort William. Also with quite a familiar bike, the Trek Session, which is actually the most successful World Cup downhill bike ever. And here with Brian Buckle and from Trek, and Dylan Howes, who's the designer of the Session bike. So we're just going to go through a few things with you guys. Dylan, you know, a superbly successful bike, was there really any need to change it? I mean, why? Why did you change it?
Because we could make it faster. I mean, that's...
Can I just pick you up on that? So that's what it's about?
Yeah.
Right.
That's what it's about, is going faster. And we found something that made the bike faster.
Mm-hmm.
is really the bottom line. If we can make it faster, we will, and that's what the search is all about.
Yeah. Who's been part of that? Who's did like Brooke and the team guys do time runs and stuff like that, or?
It goes all the way back to when we started doing remedies and slashes with 650Bs, and the original part of 650B, we actually set out to go, this is garbage. Mm-hmm. 26 is lighter and moves around easier, 29 is faster, this is the best. We built up a bunch of remedies, all exactly the same, and went, right, we'll prove that 650B is the best of neither. Once and for all, we'll be done.
Yeah.
And we all came away going, well, the 29 is still the fastest, but the 650B is faster. Mm-hmm. It's faster than the 26.
Yeah.
Now what? We've blown our own minds. We've blown our whole theory. But that's what it got to us, was that it was a better small wheel. We still got big wheels, small wheels. This is just the better small wheel. And so it started with TWR, and then looking always for something faster. And we said, well, we want to try this. What do you guys think? And we kind of came to each other at the same time. We approached the team going, hey, what do you think about this? And they came to us going, hey, we think we want this. And we're both going in the same direction. Justin Leov's certainly been key. Andrew Chandro's certainly been key. Those have been two of our main tester developer guys who've been there through all of the sessions.
Yeah. Buckle, can I just pick this bike up? It's absolutely ridiculously light. Buckle, that bike's like about under 33 pounds, isn't it?
Yeah. It's kind of interesting that when even you and I have ridden different bikes across the time, going all the way back to the Session 10.
Which was a bit of a lump of a bike, wasn't it?
Which was a bit of a lump, and yeah. Dylan and I, when we were building this the other day, were kind of we finished putting the fork on, and then we both looked at each other after we took it out the stand to do a couple of other things, and both of our reference point was how much the Session 10's changed, how much the Session's come along since the 10.
Yeah, I mean, it was, looking back now, it was quite a lump, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so Dylan, let's talk about the details on. So basically, what we have here is it's the new 2015. What should we call it? 650 or 27.5? Actually, it's got both in the tyres.
8765309.
So this is the bike. So I'm going to quickly go. I'm going to quickly go through the details of this new bike. So, Dylan, surely it's lighter, longer, faster. That's a case of just some minor changes, surely.
Yeah, just minor changes, should we talk, completely new.
Should we talk geometry to start with then?
Sure.
So it's 4 sizes, correct?
4 sizes. Yeah. Small, medium, large, XL.
Yeah. Can I just say this is an XL. The wheelbase on this is about almost 50 inches long, so it's a good one, that's for sure. And yeah, okay, let's look at the numbers. Head angle 63.5.
63.5 stayed where the 26 is. Fox, the fork the offset is longer, so the trail number stays the same.
Yeah.
We knew we wanted to stay really slack. We didn't want to go any steeper to make up for wheel size. It stayed slack. Bottom bracket to ground height stays the same as what the 26 is. But
so on the bottom bracket drop, we've got, is it about -6 on this? It's under the axles, right?
it's under the axle.
Okay, right.
So it got about 12, 15 millimeters lower than the 26 in terms of relative to the axle height. So this stayed the same, but with the axles going up, we're now below the axles. So you get that very low in the bike feeling, but you don't get the pedal smacks. It's still a very pedalable, very rideable.
I mean, the
bike.
Session is, you know, of all the downhill bikes I've ridden, the Session is one of those quick bikes, and that's what's so special about it, I think. Talk to us about shock tune.
So shock tune is very similar. We've updated it just a little bit. Work with Fox. Obviously, we're working through the future of shock tunes with Fox as they evolve the shock and things change. The leverage rate on the bike is a little bit more progressive than what it was. What that gives you is just a little bit more suppleness off the top, the very small stuff. But on the big hits, on the really deep travel, it's just a bit more progressive, a bit more of that bottomless feel.
But you know, that's what we want on downhill bikes. It's quite straightforward, really, isn't it? You need a simple, progressive bike so you can just pick the bike up in certain situations, and it's light. It's not too difficult, surely.
It's not too difficult, but it is a very fine balance between getting too progressive, getting too soft. And if the bike isn't progressive enough, it'll eat square edge. We've built bikes that were very flat, very linear. Yeah. They eat square edge for lunch, but when you go to corner, when you go to jump, they just sort of sink in
too far.
Would you say you've learned quite a lot on this bike since its creation in 2008?
Oh,
I mean, I'm not being funny, but the first bikes, the suspension wasn't brilliant on it. But I think it's like the last year's production bike was significantly better. You must have learned quite a lot.
We have learned a lot, and I think what hasn't been seen is everything we've tried in between there that we've learned from, that we threw away. And we've built prototype after prototype of these bikes, trying different things, trying this extreme, that extreme, somewhere in the middle, fine tuning it. So there's definitely been a ton we've learned from it, and what we've come back to is the same basic layout, the same philosophy. It's been fine tuned, and that's what's gotten it really good. Is all that experimentation.
There's not many bikes out there actually have got this kind of evolution to a better state. Butler, can I talk about the team for a minute? Laura Greenland, superb talent. It's quite good to see a young lad being so enthusiastic over a change in wheel size and speed. He's absolutely chuffed to bits.
He's blown away. Completely blown away. And he's only had his bike less than 2 weeks. And then today, when we arrived, we stopped by at the pits, and he was there in the truck, and then kind of came over to say hi. And the first thing that he said to Kim and I was, I think that I found 75 seconds today. And we were kind of like, how did that happen? He was like, I don't know, this bike's just too fast. He was like, because it definitely isn't me. So he's super stoked.
Do you know what? I think I don't want to go on about wheel size too much, but I think I think we've got to a stage now with downhill bikes is that there's very few people in the world, I think, that can actually take these bikes to their limit, because I think that the wheel size does actually exaggerate how much faster the bike is as well. And
I think that's true, Steve. And I think that one of the things, you know, as Dylan mentioned earlier, that we're looking for is that when you look at the gaps between 1 to 10, everything is a marginal gain. Every way that people get there, whether it's, you know, overall wheel size, tyre size, frame geometry, whatever, everybody is trying to find that extra piece. And that's what Dylan said. The reason that this bike changed again is because we could make it faster.
Yeah.
Well, I think that is the key thing. Is this is not about that it's 650B, or that it's 27, or that it's a new wheel size. It's that we found a technology, a piece of the bike, a something that makes it go faster.
And so all about it.
Yeah. So we don't view this as, oh look, it's a wheel size.
No.
It's not a wheel. It doesn't matter. They're round. They're covered in
it's
black
one
rubber.
thing. All right, let's move on from wheel size. I've ridden quite a lot of carbon bikes, and what I've found is they can actually be quite harsh, and certainly the fatigue on your body, especially after kind of 3-4 minutes, is quite significant. Tell me about the balance between getting a bit of flexibility and give into a bike and stiffness and stuff like that. And how do you work all that stuff out?
There's a lot that we put into that.
I guess what I'm saying, there's carbon and there's carbon, isn't there?
There's carbon and there's carbon. There's also that you have to take a half a step back and go, well, this is the ride quality we're after. Now we have it through the suspension geometry, through the shock tune, through the material tuning, through the tuning of the shape of that material. Something we have done on this bike is we've looked a lot at the rough tube shapes, and it's been iteration after iteration. It's been a lot of work with our carbon guys. It's been a lot of work with our analysis guys going, okay, what is the best dimension for this tube? How tall should it be? Should it be tall and skinny? Should it be wide and short?
And within that, even things of, like you were there when we did the wind tunnel test.
Yeah.
Even tube shapes and those kind of things, there's parts in time that all of these guys are referencing that, yes, we want to make the tube feel one way, but we also have a bunch of documents and paperwork back that talks to us about what we learned from being in the wind tunnel.
Yeah. Okay, what about some of the viewers, readers? Some details that might have changed. The fork, you've gone back to this is the standard fork 40, right? 40 Air.
It's a standard Fox 40 Air.
Right. What was the? Because I thought your take on the 40 was actually better than the 40 Air myself, but
it's a mixture of cost. It's a mixture of what the team ultimately preferred, sponsorship details, market reaction. We wouldn't have done that fork if we didn't all honestly believe it was better. But there's a lot of things that we do that we believe are better that the market goes, well, either they can't feel the difference and don't want to pay for that extra performance, or there is something that they go, well, we're looking for this when we were looking for that. This is back to a stock Air 40. Partly it's just going to the 650B. It's a new fork structure. Yeah. It's a new length. Things change, so we had to adapt there. Like I said, overall geometry of the bike is similar. Head angle is the same as what the 26-inch bike was. Bottom bracket height is the same as what it was, but drop increases. We've increased the reach of the sizes across the board. We are short on big bikes actually. What are your guys' feelings on, personally I think the first 2 World Cups have been quite disappointing. There's been a lot of pedalling in them. But that actually emphasises what type of bike is needed now to win a World Cup race. It's actually something quite versatile. You need that pedalability. It needs to be light and all that. The question
is that a question of the bike though, or is that also a question of pretty poor course choice?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're here in Fort William. This is bloody rough
proper
here.
Course.
This is rough.
Dylan,
do you believe there are fast bikes and not such fast bikes?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because from the bikes that I ride, there's definitely a lot of bikes that get sucked into the terrain and almost like an anchor on them. Whereas, I don't want to blow smoke up the track, whatever, but the Session is a quick bike, and is it left or is it?
No, I think that's where your homework pays off. Where you've done the experimentation, where you've evolved something, you've what this bike has is it's been both an evolution, and if you look at this bike's, say, family tree, it's got branches that have gone off here, then we're going, no, that didn't work, or that sucks.
Yeah.
Back here, and so you bring it back in. So we've tried this extreme, we've tried that extreme. We know what works and what we're going after. So we have a very...
What are you going after?
Speed.
Does it...
Simple answer is speed, but it's that balance of being able to suck up a square edge bump, being able to take that really big hit, but at the same time you want that bike to hold when you hit a corner, when you hit a jump, you want it to hold in there so that you get that launch.
Yeah.
And to be stable at speed.
So Buckley, you're gonna have to speed. Does it worry you that there's no track riders winning World Cups at the minute? Oh, sorry.
It's been downhill racing's tough, and it doesn't matter who you look at from one year to the next, from one race to the next. It's very rare that you see consistency. There has been consistency from various riders in the past, but if you look at the latest results and you look at those two courses that you mentioned, a very pedal-y course, arguably not really a downhill course, and then the second course, how much the weather played into that and how much tyres played into that. There's a number of things, but when you look at it consistently over, the Trek program, we're always there.
Look, we know how tight those margins are, right? They're minuscule.
Yeah.
I don't believe...
I mean, Brooke McDonald missed out winning Fort William last year by 0.1 of a second, I think.
And then you look at Nico 2 weeks ago without a crash, the guy would have won.
Nico.
Mullally.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking about Nico there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nico.
Two weeks ago, he would have won.
Yeah.
Hands down.
So there you go. We got the new session 9.
This one we're calling the 9.9.
Yeah.
As you see it here, it's almost a 9.9.
Yeah.
Production gets the carbon chainstay.
Right. Okay. So there you go. Session 9.9. That's actually a fact on the ground, which is there's not many people have done that so far, and obviously wasting time whilst they're dithering. So we're going to get a ride on this pretty soon, and can't wait actually. So thanks to Dylan and Buckle for the chat.
No problem.